Congressman Paul, welcome to Top Line. So, big speech by the president tonight. Afghanistan, you've been a critic of this war for a very long time. What do you need to hear from the president tonight?
He's coming home, but not tokenly. I don't want to hear that he's going to bring 5,000 troops home or 10,000 troops. We need to have a significant change in foreign policy, which means that all the troops come home and turn that country back over to the Afghans and let them deal with it.
So all the troops come home now, today.
Sure. Well, I mean, you can't do it in 24 hours, but you can make the announcement and you can start the withdrawal from that country because there's nothing for us to be gained.
Well, what about the criticism from some Republicans, including one of your opponents, Tim Pawlenty, saying he's worried that what the Republicans are doing when they make statements like this, they're drifting towards isolationism?
Well, I think they don't know the definition of isolationism. Isolationism is something that the protectionists want. They want to close borders for people coming in, and they want to close trade. And I have no desire to do that at all because I'm a free trader and I want as much travel and communication with other countries as possible. And this is what the founders advised. We were never given the authority to be the policemen of the world.
But if we pull out of Afghanistan, you're not concerned that the terrorists take over, that there's a greater terrorist threat?
Sure, I'm concerned, but I think we'll have less danger to us if we don't occupy foreign countries, because that's the top motivation for the desire to come here and kill Americans, is because we've invaded their land. They see us as wanting to take their natural resources, and that's what they get angry about. And we put military bases on their land. The best way to think about this is, what if another country did that to us? Every American would be together. If the Chinese did to us what we do to other countries, no American would say, oh, that's okay, they're nice people, maybe we can learn their culture and their religion. It would be insane. And yet we go and think that we are promoting the goodness of America. The only way you can promote and spread the goodness of America is to set a good example and do it through persuasion.
All right, so we're also involved in places like Libya. We're still in Iraq. We're, Yemen, all these places. What is the Ron Paul doctrine then in dealing with what's clearly a threat from many of these countries?
Well, it's a threat because we're there.
So if we weren't there, though,
over time we would have less threat and we would save the money because we can't afford it. So we're setting ourselves up for a brutal economic collapse because this is a significant amount of money. We spend $1 trillion a year maintaining our empire. So yes, we should come home from all those areas. There's no authority. We've been fighting war since World War II, technically in an unconstitutional fashion. We never declare war anymore, and the wars linger. And that's what my argument has been. If you want to fight a war, you declare it. This is the case I made when they were preparing to go into Iraq. And I made them vote in the committee for a war resolution. Nobody voted for it, including myself. But I claim that if there is a danger to the people and our security, the Congress should represent the people and vote for it, and everybody should be with us. We should go and win the war. But no, they don't want to assume that responsibility. They want to defer to the executive branch, let the executive branch do whatever they want. There's no victories, and it never ends.
Do you think our relationship with China over the last 2 years, did it get stronger, weaker? Are we in a better position, worse position than we were when Obama took office?
I would defer to saying it's probably been pretty neutral. I don't think it's deteriorated because things are so much better than what I remember in high school. We were fighting the Chinese and the Koreans, and one of my teachers was sent to Korea and never came back. So that had an impact on me. So it's so much better. Yeah. I think Nixon did a lot of terrible things. I always criticize him about closing the gold bin and all these things. But he opened up the door to China. I think we're much better off talking to the Chinese and trading with the Chinese, and they have an interest in staying peaceful with us as we have an interest on them, even though we have our differences on some of the trade and why do our companies go to China. And in some ways they embarrass us because they're more capitalistic than we are. Right. It's easier for our businesses to go to China than it is to stay here. That aggravates me, but I blame ourselves for that.
All right, let's talk about one other person, your home state governor, Rick Perry, thinking about getting in. Want to give us an assessment of the governor?
Well, I haven't been involved in state politics. I know that one of our Tea Party candidates ran without any money against him, got 20% of the vote last time.
So you don't think he's Tea Party enough?
Oh, well, no, I never put him in that category, but I put him in the category of being very smart.
Do you think
he's captured a lot of that sentiment, when he threw out terms, well, we have to protect our right to secession, and, it always fed a little fodder, to the Tea Party people. So he's pretty smart. and I think he would always come that way. So he's into politics pretty well, and he would be a formidable candidate.
Can he take credit for Texas's economy? It's been doing very well over the last decade, as you know.
Well, no, I think the conditions of Texas over the many decades has been healthier for the economy. It's a right-to-work state. You know, he didn't do that, but he would support that. We don't have an income tax. We do have high property taxes, but the environment there is good. Those people that lose their jobs in the Midwest and the Northeast, they come to Texas. We're getting 4 new congressional seats. In my own district, Caterpillar is opening a new plant, and so some of the states have a healthier environment than the other states. But even Texas, if we don't continue to do that, these jobs are going to still go overseas. So Texas has had a good environment for the business community.
Congressman Ron Paul, the Republican from Texas, Republican presidential candidate. Appreciate you being here on Top Line. Thanks.